All right, so I ran out of space on my phone, so I just went ahead and finished getting as many bubbles out as I could. So we're pretty much done moving the bubbles out. But we have a couple of trouble areas like that. And so this wants to peel up, and that's what the tape is going to help with. And just some other areas that need some help. So I'm going to deal with those here. Sorry for putting my hand in your face. Okay. So with a spot like this, we can go ahead and use our little trim tool. And that is as simple as putting it into the groove between the pane and the frame and just draw it along. That little nub cuts off your piece. Now I can go back in and get that taken care of. Now, something I hadn't mentioned earlier was that you want to have a dry towel on hand, because all that liquid that you sprayed on has to go somewhere. And what it's going to do is it's going to come out around the edges, and it's actually going to hurt you. Not you, but hurt your progress. So it's gonna oversaturate the edges, and it's gonna peel up like it has with mine. So we'll just go back through and push that down. Try to squeeze out as much water, or not water, but whatever fluid that is. Try to get that squeezed out and dried up so that this actually has a chance of sticking. And that's going to be a pain, so we'll do that later. And this is actually a major problem when you've got it vertical, because your tape will be affected by it too. It'll just flop off because it's wet and it won't stick. So you just add some more pieces, which is why I had some extras made, because I knew this was going to happen. So just get all the edges as best we can. And we're done. So I hope you didn't think this was going to be just a one and done, because what you have to really do is wait for all that excess liquid to dry off, like maybe in a couple of hours or maybe tomorrow even, and come back through, take the tape off, and use your squeegee, your scraper to press down those edges again. And just because I'm paranoid, I've fought with these things a bunch before, I'm just going to add some more tape to the top. You're looking at it upside down, by the way. So just add that to make sure that this just isn't going anywhere. This corner is up again. I've used all of my tape, so I'll just grab some more pieces. Alright, now we can go ahead and put this back into the place, because it's not really going anywhere. You're done as far as you need to go. This will get into the way of the tracks. We'll have to peel these up, but that's not a major problem. But I'm not going to do that yet because I'm going to do the other side first. Alright, I've made a bunch of my tape tags, and I've got the corner bent over. So now we get to have some real fun trying to do it vertically. Doing it horizontally was really a heck of a lot easier than doing it vertically. So if you have the option, do it horizontally, laying down like that. Alright, so we got that corner, match that up. And we'll just work down the sides. Okay, well then I just drop everything. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. So we got our tape into place, mostly. Now we peel it up. And this is where you start to need about 4 hands. So there it is. Okay, just very carefully get that going all the way across. Just peel this down some. And because there's that liquid on there, you can move this around just a little bit, just sliding it around. And that's exactly what the liquid is for. So you can be imprecise and get it to where you need it to be all at the same time. Okay. So that's mostly stuck down. And as you peel it, as you peel the film off, you'll have a tendency to undo what you have just laid down. So don't be too disheartened by that. It unfortunately just happens. Okay. I'll pick that up later. And my squeegee. And I don't think I got any liquid down at the bottom, because I went a lot faster than it normally goes. Okay. So now we just go ahead. Man, I should do this on camera more often because that went super smooth. That just means that there's going to be problems later on. But anyway, that is a bubble worth a mess. I don't know if you can see it, so I'll bring the camera around. But yeah, all the distortions there, those are bubbles. I'm doing this at night so you can't really see a lot, but yeah, there's a good bubble right there. Anyway, from here on, it's basically the same thing that we were doing, squeegeeing out the bubbles. So I'll get most of that done and come back to you in just a bit. Okay, so I wanted to show you a little bit of a difference. So you can see my reflection is heavily distorted until I go up a step. And now it's mirror reflection. You can see all the wrinkles in my shirt instead of all of the wrinkles in the screen or in the film. So I'll just show you the so now all of a sudden you can see me. You can definitely see like right in here where all the distortion begins, and right in here too where it becomes sort of a funny House of Mirrors kind of thing. So very stark contrast. Alright, and we've got that mostly done. I've got just the edges to do, but unlike the other one, I cut a little extra off, which is perfect. So we can use our green little cutter, just go along the edge and trim it up. So I have to go the other way on this one. I didn't really cut. I guess it did. It just didn't peel off as expected. All right. So, and then up here we've got more to cut off, and let's see. Yep. So you can do some really fine cuts with that. And part of the reason why I showed you about the bubbles earlier is because I wanted to show you that it was not some camera tricks, or that I took the film off and pretended that I did it to get the mirror-like sheen back. But yes, the film is still on there, and it's a world of difference once you get the bubbles out. Alright, so I finished up cutting around all the edges. Not that you can really tell, but I've still got the bottom edge here that's wanting to peel up. That's partly because there's too much liquid there. I've been trying to dry it off, but it's just not wanting to work with me. So I'll just play with it some more. But I'm at the point where I can just go ahead and put the other window back in. And putting it back in is just the opposite of taking it out. There we go. And the top edge of that one is also coming off, so I'll have to get that in the morning. And putting the blinds back in is same way as taking it out. You just shove it in that corner, push it in there, pull your lock down, and you're done. I'll do that tomorrow because I still have to take the blue off, and I still have to the tape, and I still have to deal with a couple of places that are peeling up, especially the top there, which you can't get to with that blind in place. So now you know how to do that. It's not rocket science, but it's not exactly easy either. You just have to be patient. You have to apply plenty of pressure with your scraper, and don't go too fast because your scraper can jump over bubbles. You can crease this stuff pretty easily, and you just want to start from the top or near the top, work your way up to the top, out to the edges, and then work your way down as from the center out, and you'll keep from getting wrinkles and bubbles. And at any time in the next day or two, you can just come back in and squeegee those bubbles out. Even days later, weeks later, you can come in and scrape those bubbles out. Since I'm doing this at night, I have no idea if there's bubbles that I can't see. I mean, it looks like I've got everything mostly done, but there's other things in here that make me think that I didn't actually get the window clean, because there's just weird little bits that look like there's stuff underneath it. So I'll see what it looks like in the morning and go from there, basically. So there's my tutorial, and hopefully I've made doing this sort of thing much easier for you. I wish I would have had somebody to tell me how to do this, because I've only done it like half a dozen times, and let me tell you, the first couple of times, total disaster. I didn't know about that clear film to take off, and so nothing was sticking. All my tape was peeling off because I was using too much of the liquid, and things weren't moving around because I wasn't using enough of the liquid, and it took me like 2 hours to get one window done, and now I've got these 2 windows done in maybe an hour. It's taking me a little bit longer than that because I had to download the camera once, but yeah, went a lot smoother this time. So good job done, and I keep saying it, we'll see what happens in the morning. This should be good. Just looking at the reflection, I don't see any major air bubbles except around the corners and the edges. So, and that's expected. You just can't get that 100% when there's so much liquid there. So, yeah. See you around.